Hey, what's happening? My name's Jordan Morrison, and this is episode 36 of It Is What It Is. And this is a special one. It's the last one here in Dallas, Texas. And I'm going to get a little nostalgic, might even shed a tear, and I'm going to share some information, share some stories. And one of the first things I want to say is I want to say thank you to my family. I want to say thank you to my friends who made it possible for me to move out here, who made me feel comfortable when I got out here, who were here for me during the ups and the downs. I want to say thank you to all of you. And I'm pretty sure you know who you are. And if I haven't made that clear, then I'm dropping the ball. But one thing that I'd like to say as well is Texas is great. And if anyone's thinking about coming out to Texas, I would highly recommend it. I know a lot of Californians are coming out this way. And what I want to say is don't California my Texas. And I got that saying in Fort Worth, actually, because in Fort Worth, they say, don't Dallas my Fort Worth, which makes a lot of sense when you go to Fort Worth and you know what Dallas is like. So please don't California my Texas. Although I am leaving Texas, I would love to come back. I see no reason why I wouldn't. I really do love this place. I love the way the state is run. I love the native Texans. I love people out here from Texas. They're very kind, sweet, fun people. And like I said, I highly recommend you try out Texas. There really is no downside to living out here, maybe besides the weather. But I'm a spoiled Californian boy when it comes to the weather. So that's pretty hard to beat coming from the central coast of California. Shout out 805. So like I said, Texas is great. And I have no complaints. I think they do a lot of things right out here. I think they know how to have a good time, and they know how to chill and relax. They know how to get rowdy. They know how to get spiritual. They know how to get religious. They know how to get down. And there's a lot of cool people out here. So, like I said, Texas is a cool place. Something that I've been putting together for a while is this list, and it's pretty much going to be our entire episode. I want to share this list with you that I have, and this list is near and dear to my heart. And I might add a couple things as I'm sitting here just off the fly. I'm going to read these things that I have written. And these things that I wrote down, I've been reflecting the last couple days on Texas, because I do leave here in just a few hours. Actually, I got to pack up what you see around me. But everything else, I'm looking at boxes and I'm getting ready to head out to Nashville. And I'm really excited to go out to Nashville, expand my horizons, and meet some new people, have some new experiences, learn some new stuff about music. I'll have a dedicated space for my podcast and my music, which is going to be really cool. I know my cat, Mac, I know he's really excited about it. But like I said, I want to read this list on things that I learned in Dallas. And I can't stress this enough. Like I said, I'm a Californian boy, but these are the things that I learned from living here in Dallas, Texas. And again, I can't stress this enough. And I want to take a moment to really make sure I frame this correctly. Again, I'm a California boy, and I moved here to Dallas, Texas, and I'm going to get a little nostalgic, but the first thing I want to share with you about moving to Texas is the most important thing. And I mean this with all seriousness, all jokes aside. This is the number one thing that I learned from moving here in Texas. And that is Whataburger ain't shit. It doesn't even compare to In-N-Out. It's not the same league. It's not even the same sport. Whataburger is trash. In-N-Out is so much more superior than Whataburger. It's not even it's not even fun to talk about. When I have to have this conversation with Texans and they tell me that Whataburger is better because there's more options, what do you like, having more shit? Like, that doesn't make sense to me. Whataburger is not good. So Californians, rest assured that we have this superior burger joint in In-N-Out, because Whataburger just ain't it. That might be my only gripe against Texas and Texans, is that they think Whataburger is good. And if you go your whole life and you never have Whataburger, no big deal. The one thing I will say about Whataburger, they have good sauces, and they have one good thing on the menu. It's their honey butter chicken biscuit. You can get it for breakfast. But outside of that, Whataburger is not the move. They are quite literally everywhere. And I know that there's more Whataburgers than In-N-Outs. A lot of people use that as, oh, look, Whataburger's got to be better. There's more locations of Whataburgers in the United States than In-N-Out. Again, not true. There's a lot of 5s and 6s out there, I'll tell you what, across the country. And there's not a lot of 8s and 9s, if you know what I'm saying. So In-N-Out, far superior. That's all I'm gonna say about that. Here's what else I have on this list of things I learned in Dallas, Texas. I learned that high school football is the only football that's worth watching out here. It's a lot more fun than a Cowboys game, be completely honest with you. There's just a very nostalgic, homey kind of cool vibe out there when you go to a high school football game. I don't care if the team sucks. I don't care if they're the number one team in state, which my cousin's team is the number one team in state. So congrats to him. I just got to see my younger cousin play freshman football. My other cousin's a senior, plays for Melissa. They're absolute studs. They're monsters. If you get a chance to go watch some Texas high school football, it's amazing. It's definitely worth the watch. Another thing I learned out here in Texas is a real Texan will give you the shirt off their back. Met some really cool people out here, and, just awesome, kind, loving souls. And I really appreciate that. It was tough to move out here. Really didn't know anyone, and Texans are real people. So again, don't California my Texas. If you're going to come out here, learn how to say yes, sir, and no, ma'am. Learn how to say please and thank you. Learn how to open a door for a lady, because Texans are the real deal. It's my understanding that in school, they're taught to say yes, sir, no, ma'am, all that kind of stuff. And I think that's incredible. And that's one thing that'll stick with me after living here in Texas, is saying yes, sir, and no, ma'am. And I really do appreciate that about Texas. Another thing that I learned from living here in Texas, especially coming from California, is that California women would definitely beat Texas women in a fight. And the reason is because a lot of women in California are actually men. So that is one thing that I learned out here in Texas. Another thing that I learned and I experienced firsthand was that the only mistake that you can make is wasted time. And really only you can decide if how you're spending that time is a waste or not. So don't waste the time. And in my opinion to you, or my suggestion to you, is don't waste your time in a Whataburger line. That just don't make sense. Another thing I learned here in Texas is saying y'all is now ingrained in me. It's now a part of who I am. I don't see myself ever not saying y'all. It just makes sense, and it immediately identifies you in a very cool culture, in my opinion. I think it's a cool thing to say. It sounds fun. It sounds honky tonk. It sounds Southern, and y'all just makes sense. Y'all go get this. Y'all go get that. Y'all getting crazy. Y'all getting wild. It's a cool thing to say. I learned that you shouldn't be attached to anything or anyone. And if you are too attached to anything or anyone, maybe take a step back, take a beat, take a breath, and evaluate if that's healthy or not, because I experienced some life-changing things here in Texas with loved ones. I had to separate myself from loved ones because it was making me sick. And I want to share that with you. And if you are, too attached to something or someone and you need to give yourself some space, that is more than okay. That is healthy, and you need to set boundaries for yourself and everything in moderation, right? I guess. This is a good one. This is a really good one. Always ask for Sarah at tight ends and Mia at wild pitch. If you don't know what tight ends is and you don't know what wild pitch is, look them up, pay them a visit. They're a great time. I met one of my best friends at one of those establishments, at Wild Pitch, actually. And he would back me up on that, to ask for Sarah at tight ends and Mia at Wild Pitch. And personal little side note here, make sure you get the fried rice at Wild Pitch, and just don't even eat at tight ends. Eat beforehand. Go get in and out before you go to tight ends. The food at tight ends isn't worth it, but scenery ain't half bad, So shout out to Sarah, shout out to Mia, shout out to Adam, and shout out to the fried rice. But Wild Pitch, tight ends, look them up. If you meet a girl and she tells you she went to U of A, you better keep those fingers crossed that she went to University of Arkansas and not University of Alabama. There's a big difference, and you'll thank me later, but don't even get involved with a girl from University of Alabama. I'll tell you that right now, save y'all the headache. And if you hear U of A, just hope and pray that it was U of A in Arkansas and not Alabama. But if you're looking for a wild time, maybe you do want the University of Alabama. I don't know. A very, very important point that I learned here in Texas is to always order the brisket. I don't care if you're at a Tex-Mex restaurant, and Tex-Mex ain't that great, but if you're at Tex-Mex, order the brisket. If you're at a barbecue joint, you've never been there before, and you want to try some chicken and some sausage, fine. But also order the brisket. Always order the brisket. It's phenomenal. I'm thinking about brisket and my mouth's watering, can't even get the words out. Brisket out here is phenomenal. It's so good. Always order the brisket. You'll never go wrong. And there's always room for brisket. There's a little part of your stomach that God made room for brisket right here. So order the brisket. Have a bite. It's really good. And just try as many barbecue joints as you can. Hutchins Barbecue is the best barbecue that is out here. I don't make the rules. That's just what it is. Hutchins Barbecue, Frisco, McKinney, absolutely slaps. And it's worth the drive. They got these things called Texas Twinkies. Oh my goodness. Texas Twinkies. It's a massive jalapeno with cream cheese and brisket inside of it, wrapped in bacon. Slap some sweet brown sugar maple syrup barbecue sauce on that bad boy, and it is to die for. It's called the Texas Twinkie, and y'all need to get you one because I gained 15 pounds when I moved out here from Hutchins Barbecue. Another thing that I learned out here in Texas is to appreciate the friends who call and call the ones who don't. So, I really did learn who my friends are. I appreciate my friends and family who came out here and visited me. And then I had to really kind of identify, who's actually down for me and not calling me, and I need to call them. And then who's just like not actually my friend and I don't need to worry about calling them. But appreciate the friends that call you and call the ones that don't. And then everyone else, don't worry about it. Keep it moving. You're going to be all right. They're going to be all right. Wish them the best. I love them from afar, but it's all Gucci. that's the end of my list. And really, you know, how I'd like to end it is I'd like to say Texas forever. I wouldn't be surprised if I got that tattooed on me. Texas forever. I may be leaving Texas, but a piece of Texas will always be in my heart for sure. And I appreciate everything that I learned out here. I appreciate the people. I appreciate the experiences. I'll be back. You know, it's not goodbye forever. It's just see you later. You know, and in Texas, I appreciate you. You've been good. All right, I'm out of here. See ya.